Hello everybody, I am Andy McDaniel and welcome back to Critical Point. And when we left off, the shuttle exploded and Elise got all damaged and injured and whatnot, so I escorted her to the sick bay. And now, let's see what happens. Elise and I arrived at sick bay. The medical facilities here were unmanned. They can be operated manually, but for the most part, the medical computer simply makes a diagnosis and dispenses drugs or performs surgery as needed. Pretty sure we've already read this, so we might be skipping ahead a little bit. Are you sure you're alright? You might be tougher than a normal human, but you are still caught up in a shuttle explosion, I said. She seems so much like a regular shy girl. Still, she's really an android. Am I going to go all android crazy again? My mind clouded suddenly. Yep, I'm gonna go all android crazy again. Oh shit. Elise is an android. That's an undeniable fact. And an android is shit! A mechanical doll that does whatever it's ordered to do. Am I gonna make her piss in a jar in sickbay this time? A monster who made me feel the way I do. No, Elise is not like that. I'm just gonna keep going until the flashback comes, if it comes. The voice of denial rang out in my head, pushing back my line of reasoning. What's wrong with me? Why am I turning into William Shatner again? At the keyword android, air quotes, old memories from my past were trying to surface. Years ago I had been tortured in an enemy camp when my fighter had been shot down. Oh, we're not going to do the flashback, we're just going to talk about it? Alright. An old rust bucket android had taken all what? An old rust bucket android had taken off my real arm during the torture. That's not how sentences work, me. I didn't want to remember that. Shut up, Elise, I'm thinking things over here. Elise looked at me worriedly. I snapped back to reality. I had blacked out while the memories from my past had been whirling around inside my head. Elise is nothing like that thing that had tortured me. I tried to be rational, but that old wound comes back to haunt me, sometimes. There's a part of me that rejects androids. I had to overcome that. At least Elise was just like a human being in most ways. I shook my head to clear my mind. Well, what about it? Why were you in the spaceport in the first place? That TV reporter? And you were caught in the explosion. What really happened? I continued with my questioning. What? How do you know that? I see. I thought that this might be the case. It seemed to be sabotage, all right, no doubt about it. The upbeat shuttle pilot and the constantly complaining co-pilot had died, along with whoever was manning the control room. And that obnoxious TV reporter, still haven't gotten to see her naked. She might be alive now if she hadn't been forced to leave on that flight. It's all Carla's fault. She was jealous that I might be getting nookie with someone else. Our unknown saboteur had begun to take direct action. There was no time for sorrow. The only thing we could do for the dead was to find their killer. But who could it be? Faces flipped through my mind rapidly. The killer had to be on the base. In that case, the only ones not suspect are those who had just died. That narrowed it down. Well, that's an upbeat way of looking at it, me. Have you told the commander about this? When would she have been able to? You saw her right after the thing blew up and you took her here. God, me, you're a moron. Perhaps this should be reported to Carla? No, I'm sure it's fine. No, the possibility was slim, but she was still a suspect. Keep this from the others until I say otherwise. Do not tell anyone.
はい、わかりました。
You bet you do. Elise nodded and spoke up about something else.
それから、
Also what? There's more?
先ほど態度のは一瞬ですが、酩酊したような状態になりましたが。
Yeah, I was just weighing the pros and cons of making you strip and pee into a bucket. So I decided not to this time. And I let you figure out what this time means all by yourself. She had noticed.
何か衝動があったのではありませんか。粗暴なものとか、性欲とか。
Yes to both of those things. Oh man, you're programmed for psychoanalysis too? She wasn't being sarcastic, she just reported what she had observed. She accepted my sarcasm calmly, as though she understood what caused it in the first place.
いいえ、態度のももうお気づきのことと思いますが、この基地では性的欲望や衝動的な行動を抑えられないものがほとんどです。
Yeah, you should have seen Rico last night. She was a virgin, but she was also kind of like a whore. It was amazing! Oh, I shouldn't be talking to you about this, should I? Yes, I suppose I did. In the back of my mind, an applicable situation emerged and then vanished.
この傾向は基地機能の不調とほぼ同時に発生しています。
Did it now? There's one logical conclusion. In other words, there's a connection between this situation and the acts of sabotage?
はい。
Elise responded with certainty. Therefore, I was also certain, because I can't think on my own. It's all Elise. I am a moron. Elise is brilliant, and I couldn't do anything without her, basically. In that case, I began to worry about what other surprises might be in store for us.
それにしても、態度のは精神力の強い人ですね。
No, I'm not. You don't know me very well, do you, Elise? I've not made you pee into anything yet. Maybe it was just because she was nervous about the strange look that I had earlier, but she seemed to want to change the subject. I wonder about that.
ええ、ほとんどの人が衝動に逆らえないようです。ベネディクト中佐ぐらい精神力のある方でないと。
I already screwed the Colonel. So, yeah. It might be because I've only been here for a few days. Now that I thought about it, Rico didn't seem to be affected to any degree. Really? She wanted to have sex with me? That's a degree of change. Alright, we're sure there's a saboteur on the base. With what we already know, can you think of a cause for this behavior?
考えられるのは音波、電磁波、薬物などですが、状況からして電波は除外できるでしょう。
Yeah, we've been here before. We eliminate everything except for drugs, so skip ahead briefly to the drugs or until something new happens. There was some new stuff in this conversation, so justifiable, but now this is getting into repeated material, so skipping ahead.
人間同様に今のところはそうです。私の物質解析能力、医務室の分析機があります。はい。隊員にも顕著な症状が出たとな。はい。
Alright, here we go. Just then, the sickbay terminal sounded an alarm.
大隅隊、そこにいますか?
Yes, I'm here. It was a call from Carla. This might be repeated. Yes, this is Osumi. I'm in sickbay.
隊員、ラッセル准尉が死亡したわ。
What? Oh right, he hasn't died yet in this playthrough. I remembered the young man, with a girl's name. Warrant Officer Russell. Was he in the port control room or something?
いいえ、彼は第三レーダー中継ユニットの修理に出ていたの。どうやら何者かに殺害されたらしいわ。
What did you say? So we've got a bad communication here, and Elise is currently sucking my dick, so I'm not really paying attention to the words you're saying. I raised my voice in shock.
私はこれから現場に向かうわ。あなたも急行して。
Alright. Wait a minute. Where's the number 3 radar link unit? I don't know my way around that well.
そうだったわね。いいわ。執務室に来て。一緒に行きましょう。
Will you be ready to have sex with me in your ready room? Eh? Yes, sir. Qualla, cut off the transmission. Strange, don't you think?
何がですか？
Hardware has been destroyed, drugs have been mixed. Up until now, things have been done to decrease base functionality without causing us to consider a saboteur as the cause. Now we're faced with a shuttle explosion and a murder. Why the sudden upping of the ante? Are we playing poker? I don't like poker, I'm terrible at it. I always raise when I should fold and bluff when I should play it straight.
態度のです。
Huh? I was a bit taken aback.
態度のが工作班の目論見を外したんですよ。
In what way? I came and restored the base functions Oh, I restored the base functions. Well, I didn't do it. You did it, Elise. It's all your fault. He had to take more direct action. Is that what you mean?
はい。
I might have caused the culprit to begin killing. We can't just sit around waiting for him all day. I'm going to meet the colonel. You get busy with that drug analysis.
わかりました。
Good that you understand me, because I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I also had to check up on anyone who wasn't being influenced by the drugs. I left Elise and went to the commander's ready room. I entered the commander's office to find Carla waiting for me with a stern expression on her face. 2 seconds, gonna check the time, just checking the time. Yeah, let's see. I think this is probably gonna be a short scene.
技術顧問の肩書きだけでは動きにくいでしょ。これからは私の補佐役ということにしておくわね。
Well, I wasn't finding it terribly difficult to move around as a technical advisor, but if you want to make me your aide, that's fine. I mean, I can aid you with all the sex things officially then, right? We can do it right out in the hall in front of everyone. They can all be so jealous. Yay. That will be helpful. I'm Colla's aide, and Rico's my aide. We could have a threesome. Yay, threesome's back on. Rico, get your recently de-virginized sweet ass in here. Rico can't hear me. Talk about having all your ducks in a row. Ha 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 ha. That's not funny. I shrugged mentally as we hurried to the number 3 radar link unit. The pipe for the cable connecting the outside sensor array doubled as a corridor for parts of the way. The end of the pipe had transmission units and amplifiers. Warrant Officer Kristen Russell was working to fix a problem on one of those transmission units. It was probably broken due to sabotage. This is probably all going to be the same, so I'm going to skip ahead, or actually, I think I'm going to end it here. Because we're right around the time, I believe. So, yes. Thank you for watching. I am Andy McDaniel. Until the next one, see yous.